Alright, well, I'm here to make a fox trapping video, and I want to start off by saying I'm only touching the trap and the trapping itself with my hands because it's after the season, if you guys are wondering, and kneeling down without hip waders on. But if it was during the season, you want to have good rubber gloves on to make your sets and hip waders or a mat to put down. Alright, I want to start off by my supplies. I'm using a Duke 1.5. I'm using a hatchet, peat moss, very important to keep the trap from freezing over the winter, a shovel, an earth anchor, which I'm not going to put in the ground, but because it's very hard to get out, and a sifter. So what we're going to do, start off by, I just picked a pretty random area just because it's a video, but you want to start off by like looking for good trails to do and whatever, but once you find a spot, just kind of go like that, make a hole in it. It's muddy, but it's because the ground just thawed. And just because we have the peat moss, the mud does not matter. Alright, and once you have your hole dug in about an inch or so, you just want to make it flat so you don't have any wobble within your trap, because that will set off and startle the animals. If they go and try and step on your trap, they won't continue stepping. But once you have the spot dug, you want to make your, I make my bait hole, and what I do is just make it about 10 inches and off-centered, because fox, unlike raccoons, fox go in like when they're walking, they go in like this, and before they step, they go like that and over, then bring their foot in. But make it about 10 inches over and pretty deep. So and a lot of times with the bait holes, I use drills or an auger with it, just so it's easier, but shovel always works. And you want to make it at a slant. Then once you get down like 6 inches or so, you should be fine. But like kind of clear out an area that it kind of makes it look like the fox is digging. But once you have that, you always like, say these were connected, you're gonna lay your trap there, then this. Let me do that. Make sure your lever's facing the bait hole, so like when they go and step on, they don't step on the lever. You want to make this as far out as the cord can stretch and just pound that in, but yet again I'm not going to do it because I don't want to spend half an hour trying to get it out. Then just kind of make a little slot in the ground here with your hatchet to lay the cord to your trap in. Not really sure what it's called, but just kind of lay that in, cover it back up. Easy as that. But then you want to go set your trap. Actually, you usually want to do it outside of your spot so you don't sink it in.
And again, during the trapping season, you would always want to use scent-proof gloves.
Yeah.
Because that'll screw up your scent if you touch them with your bare hands.
Alright, and then we have ours set at two spots, like 2 notches in the pan, so like it makes it level with the trap. Take that out of there. Then you just set that right in there. Alright. Then how that's wobbly, you would want to go back into where you put your dirt at. Just build it up like where your jaw would set.
You can see you flip back over the jaw and then put it down.
Yeah.
So it's nice and steady.
And once you go in there, even more steady. That should be good. Like, you barely want any rocking whatsoever. So then, what you want to do is take the peat moss, which you can buy this in, I think, Lowe's or any gardening store. Just dump whatever is in your cister out onto a pile, because you will need that then. Just take it and cover it. I say you want to use peat moss because it's just like dry dirt. It does not freeze, and it's very cheap. Get some of there.
And as you can see, the big pieces of dirt are getting caught in the sifter, and that's essential for fox trapping.
Yeah.
Because you want the least error possible with fox, because they're pretty hard to catch.
Yeah, and they won't step, like, say you have a rock in your set, they will not step where that rock or pebble is.
Now you can also use that to your advantage too, by placing pebbles so that
what I do here is just clear out where the pan is. Then I like to go under just to make sure, clear out under it, under the pan with the stick, just to make sure it will go off. I'm like, you can see that there. Then I'll just go in, making sure I have rubber gloves on, which I don't. Just putting that, oh, I shouldn't have done that, oh well. Right over the pan there. Alright. And then just go back in, whatever you had. Just kind of cover it up, make it look a little more natural. It's going to be harder because it's mud, but even if you can just kind of toss that away. See, that's already covered up. Get some leaves, kind of make sure there's no sticks in it. You will lose animals. Just kind of cover up the remaining stuff. And then usually we would use sticks, but we just found these laying here. Kind of want to make this at a V so they won't, and like right at your bait hole, so when they come in, they won't come in from the sides and dig it up, or from the back. And the bait that I use the, I forget what it's called, but it's canine bait. And I also use stuff that Mark June uses. I forget what that's called also. I forgot to bring it with me. But that's pretty much it. So